are in the project management workbook. The source for this file is listed here, so you can download that file if you want. The link is also in the description for this video. Where we left off was filling out the change request log, and we filled out a change from the HR representative to review with the HR manager and Maria and Roberto. So that is complete, and we're going to do that. The next tool we are going to speak about is the meeting schedule. So focusing on the meeting schedule, it is just it's not a project plan, so it's not action item focused. It's just focus on the meetings. I like to organize these by work stream. Or work stream is just how you're organizing the team that's actually doing the work. So there may be a team for hiring, there may be a construction team, as we're talking about opening this new taqueria, and there may be several key meetings that are going to take place. So this is an example of just a list of meetings that that you might have. One, the project management team, so that's the core team that is responsible for making sure the project is complete. I usually have at least a weekly meeting with the core team and a weekly meeting with the extended team, I call it. So it's the core team, and then plus the leads from the other work streams. So that takes place weekly, of course not on the same day. If your project is, depending on the intensity of your project, you might have a core team meeting every day, and it all depends on your project. So let's say we have this core team meeting, we have it weekly. The facilitator is the project manager, and the attendees are, right now the team is just myself and you. And then I would put the time and dates for these. You notice this is a weekly calendar. It's just another way of viewing it. This could be daily. You can put this in a calendar view. It is up to you. Some people like the calendar views. I like I like a list. This is my preference. So that's an example of you would fill out the information here. This is really meant for the ongoing meetings to keep the rhythm of the project going. And an example of one of the work streams, let's say, it's HR, but hiring, the hiring, well, I'll put HR. I should put human resources because, let's say they have a weekly meeting and a lead and all the team members, and they might have meetings that are not on this calendar that you don't have to track, but they might have a key meeting that you just want to be aware of so that you can attend if you want to know more of what's going on in that meeting. Other key meetings that might take place, maybe there's I put team meeting, but let's say there's a conference call once a week with the project sponsor, and maybe it's just the sponsor and project manager. And that's an example. So let's say and then underneath that, let's say there's a board meeting, and that happens monthly. It may not be your meeting that you're in charge of that directly relates to this project. This might be about the overall business, and a board meeting is not monthly. But let's say that it is quarterly, or whatever the frequency of that executive meeting is. You want to put it on your calendar if you want to make sure, hey, I have to make sure that I send an update to, the project sponsor, because they're going to be at this meeting and they're probably going to be asked how the project is going. So you want to also list meetings that you're going to be responsible for feeding information into as well. And project update, you may have a kickoff meeting with all the parties involved, or you may have, that's actually separate. So let's say it's, maybe it's a one-time, meeting, you know, um, the project manager, all team members are involved, and you would want to list these people out, so you can get specific. But that's an example of you would list all the meetings that affect the work that you do on this one page. So this is an example of a meeting schedule in Excel. Of course, there are other tools you can use, Microsoft Outlook, and shared calendars, more advanced features, but this is a quick and simple tracking tool that you can use. Next, we'll talk about the contact list. See you in the next video.